second. And we're bringing to the stage King Brooks. Indeed. King Brooks. Yes. Biden Harris 2020. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. Yes, indeed. Um, you have been around for a minute, but I just got wind of you within the last few years, only because of the Brown Girls. Because you are Victoria Christopher Murray. You are fan dude. And that's how I got your Facebook on Facebook page turners. And then you began with the blackpageturners.net. So we're going to get into it, King Brooks. So tell us how you actually started on this journey and then got into doing blackpageturners.net. And I think you were over a group at one point that was started by Ian Smith, or he was
with that. Yeah, Dr. Ian Smith. Yeah.
Okay,
Long.
so I'm trying to remember. Okay, so
No, you're right. You're right. No, I got my start in the early 2000s actually, because before then, before 2000, I used to read a lot of Caucasian authors. I wasn't big on Black authors until I started going to a more Black central school, and so a lot of my female colleague classmates would turn me on to the African American books. And once I discovered African American books, that was done with the white books. No more with that, you know. But that was back in early 2000. In 2000, about 2002, 2003, I started an online radio show on Blog Talk Radio that was called Us Talk Show, which basically I would interview different authors. I would view different, different celebrities, stage people and stuff like that. And then so fast forward until about 2013 is when I started Black Page Turners, because I had various other websites, but I put those to bed once I found Black Page Turners, because I found that there really wasn't a big enough platform for African American authors. We had magazines like Mosaic, and we had Soror, and we also had Black Issues.
Oh my God!
Book review. I'm a connoisseur of magazines, so I buy all of the Black publications, and so I wanted to start something that was similar to Black Issues book review. So that way it can highlight the African American authors, because African American authors do not get the publicity that they so deserve and so needed. Advertising dollars from the big six, don't promote African American authors unless Oprah gets behind it, and then that's when they, or if it's a nonfiction book, and then they'll advertise it in the New York Times weekly book series. They'll also do that as well. So I've been doing Black Page Turners since 2013. I wanted to develop it into a magazine form. I am still working on something that will come out shortly soon in paper form, because I think that even though readers are not like it used to be, there is a need for hard copy, and so I am working on that. I've been approached by several people in order to either do radio or do a video series. So I'm not really the person with the video thing, but I'm not going to cross it off. I will keep that option open, so we'll see that in the future.
Awesome. So besides, okay, gotta ask you that question. Top three reviews. Besides Victoria Christopher Murray, everybody knows, and Rashonda. Everybody already knows. So I'm gonna make it real hard for you. Besides those two, top 3 reviews.
And that's funny that you say that, because I was just going to say on Rashonda's last book, but no, I I do read and I do promote a lot of authors besides those two.
I can't tell.
Mary B. Morrison.
Whew.
She's
Yes.
a great one. I love that. I'm sad that
Yeah.
that was her last book. This author, she is new with underneath this name of Nita Brooks. I
Okay.
enjoyed it. She's written two books actually. This was the first one, Redesigning Happiness, that
Okay.
was done last year, and this one came out at the beginning of this year.
Okay.
Also, to piggyback off of Radio, the other I know you said three, but the other side of uh, the other side by Trice Hickman and Rightfully Mine by Christina Young Robinson, and then which is a great one. She used to be on Zane's thing with you, Ashir.
Yes.
And then
Yes,
the
sir.
last one for me was another one by Tiffany L. Warren. She's another great one that keeps me up at night.
Okay.
And
I'm like, all right, enough of
Hey,
the
you
plugs.
asked the
Dude. I'm like,
question.
you just rolled about 6 or 7 of them in there. I'm like, yeah, all right. All right, I need to pay you for this kind of plugin. But yes, indeed. So to you, what makes good content that allows you to give good reviews?
I'm more like Chandra. I do more of the book recommendations than reviews. I'll promote the hell out of your book if you know it keeps me up at night. And I mean, it attacks my emotions, where basically I want to just jump through the page and punch the hell
Yes.
out of you. Um, and then if I start talking out
Okay.
loud to
Okay.
myself, if I'm out in public and I'm talking out loud to myself, that's another great thing that I love that'll make me promote your book like crazy as well. And I'll also promote your book even if I haven't read it. If I like you as a person and I get a good vibe from you, then I also promote your work as well on various platforms and multiple groups.
Understood. Understood. So you started. What has been the best thing about blackpageturners.net?
Black
.com,
Page Turner. Yeah,
blackpageturners.com.
it's fine. Don't worry, I know what you meant.
But I need the readers to make sure they knew what I meant because I don't want them to go to the wrong spot. Okay.
No, the the great thing about Black Page Turners is I get to connect with so many different authors that I would have never, connected with. Had I just been basically King Brooks going to the bookstore and picking up your book or going to Amazon.com and picking up your book, it opens me up to so many new writers as well. Different writers that have basically that started off as self and published authors and basically have launched their own publishing platforms. Many of them have gone to work with you in the Cavalcade, which I that's a you have a great platform. The amount of support that you put behind all of the authors and everything of that nature, and y'all churn those books out like crazy. I just I can't start y'all series, not yet, but I do buy, I do support, and also which this is a little off the subject, but getting back to what Chandra has said, pricing is another thing. Um, Making sure that your price points is great. I love how y'all price point y'all price your books over there, and Delaney Diamond. I love the way that she also prices her books as well, because as a person that reads a lot, we're only have a certain amount of in order to spend. And so if your book is too expensive, then that basically I'm not going to cross it off completely. That means that basically it's going to come all the way down the line, you know.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Hi, Joy, and everybody.
So if there's one person that you would like to meet as a reviewer that you haven't met yet, as a book lover that you haven't met yet.
Mm, that I haven't met yet,
Hmm.
dead or alive. Um,
Alive, because if you
Alive.
meet them
Oh,
dead, we
okay.
got problems.
Yeah. Alive, 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 alive. Not many. Terry McMillan lives in my city. Eric Jerome Dickey lives in my city. Jacqueline Thomas.
Ah,
I've never met her in person, but we've communicated through social media and so forth of that nature. And she's invited me to various, numerous amounts of her events. Um, I am, a lot of people don't know, I'm a big romance person. I love romance on novels. I always go to the store and buy the Harlequin novels. I used to love Kamani and then BT books back in the day, and Arabesque books before they sold that as well. And then an author that I know you said alive, but there was one author I had her information, I had her phone number, her home phone number, and everything that nature, but I never got up the courage in order to call her, and that was Maya Angelou. That was another one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah, yeah.
so why? So why?
Go ahead.
Why? What was the stalling factor for you?
I never. She's from stories that I've heard told is she's a very open and embracing person, but I'm a very shy person. You may
No.
not know that. You may not know that from online. Um, I'm very, very shy until I get a feel of your personality, and so forth of that nature. I sit back and I observe you. I observe a lot because I'm a Pisces. So I observe a lot, but until I can feel your energy and I feel comfortable and so forth of that nature, then I can you know,
Okay, that makes sense. A little shy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That, that is something because somebody said in the somebody said, wow, yeah, up there. I was shocked at that too, because you have a powerful voice online. You are not afraid to speak your mind. You're very vocal, you're very passionate. So we see all that. So when you say you're shy, I'm like that. I'm like, bullshit.
You wouldn't get that in person. Yeah, I would, like, if I saw y'all in a room or whatnot,
Hmm.
I would sit back a while and I'll pray that you don't leave like the event or so forth that nature by the time I get up the courage in order to approach you. But yeah, that's
Oh, but there's some people waving at you. Joy Campbell says she's waving, and Sharon Elise says King ain't shy. And then SF Hardy said, I've never met a shy Pisces. Like I said, but okay.
yeah.
So they trying to co-sign Radio. He's not shy. He's not shy. Elowyn Bell said, I love Black Page Turners. I have gotten some great book selections. So have you had to turn down authors? And what is the main reason authors get turned down for being one of your Black uh, Page Turners picks?
I don't turn down anyone. I'm very open to any and everyone. Mainly, I'm not a big fan of poetry. I do shy away from that. Don't mean I won't read it. I'm just not.
Mm,
I just That's not at the forefront of me. I'm basically a mainstream fiction, romance type of reader. I used to be a huge nonfiction reader back in the day,
mm.
until I found out that a lot
Mhm.
of that stuff is basically fiction that they write in that. Unless it's something that's really historical and so for that nature, then but no, I'm very open to anyone. And basically, if you reach out to me, uh, don't send me no Amazon link. I hate that, and basically a lot of reviewers hate that.
Man, listen.
You send someone send someone your Amazon link. You don't say, "Hey, how you doing?" or anything of that nature. You just drop it in the inbox and take off running. So I leave it there. Don't mean I won't see it. I'll leave it there and keep on running. And then I don't like people with a sense of entitlement. I just ran into this recently. with, because I used to put out the weekly list, but life, like with a lot of reviewers, life gets in the way. And then so there are some times where I don't put out that list on the weekly list. I know that it's very helpful, and it helps a lot of authors sell books and so forth of that nature, because I can track it based upon the codes that I put in there and so forth of that nature. So I know that it helps a lot. Also, please don't wait until the last minute. I know that a lot of authors love to be Beyonce and drop books out of the sky, but it's not
You
going
ain't
to
said
work
but a
in your
word on
favor.
that, bro.
It's not going to work in your favor. You still have to, I say, start 3 to 6 months in advance. You know that you're writing that book. You may not have the title finalized or whatnot or so forth that nature, but you can still pop in one of the reviewers' inbox and say, "Hey, well, hey, I'm writing this book. Give a brief, a little synopsis of what it is about, or so forth that nature. That way, we can put it on our list and keep an eye out for it. So that way, we can help you be successful with your marketing."
Now I know I've got one question for you, based on my own personal history, because I know for a quick minute I was over at USA Today doing their Happy Ever After blog. And
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that I ran into that I guess I would ask you as well, is because I was technically the only male that was reading romance and other genres.
Mm-hmm.
How do you receive those that may come up with the question of, well, you're a male, right? I mean, reading romance and that type of thing. Do I expect you to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I won't say honest, but do you expect did you get those questions of whether or not you would be well versed into whether or not you could really give a honest review, because you are a male reading in the genre that's technically not what we always do?
Mm-hmm. Well, I am emo yeah, I am a male, but I am a emotional reader. So if that connection is made through your pages and so forth of that nature, then I am able to give you my honest opinion, so forth that
Awesome. The How have you dealt with any backlash that has come from your reviews when an author comes up and they are just absolutely, I know you say entitlement. That's different from people being pissed when you finally do the damn thing.
um the piggyback off of some of the reviewers earlier on what they said is earlier and when I started reviewing, that's why I shy away from doing reviews or so forth that nature. I do promoting the covers, and I'll make different take out my favorite line from your book and so forth that nature, that and so forth that.
Mhm.
Back in my early days of reviewing, I had an author basically say, well, you need to make it about the work and not about the person. So I went back. I read the review. It did not mention anything about the author. To tell you the truth, I don't even care about your personal life. There is no attachment there or so forth that nature. It's always about the book.
Mhm.
So that was one of the reasons why I really don't do the review type like a lot of other book reviews. I do the recommendations like Chandra and says. Um, yeah.
Awesome. Where can people find you?
You can find me at www.blackpageturners.com, or you can find me at unleashlit.com as well. But
Unleash Lit.
blackpageturners.com, unleash lit, yes. Unleash lit, unleashlit.com.
When you're done, make sure you drop that in the panel. And the other one was blackpageturners.com, because I cut you off and I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Blackpageturners.com.
Yes.
Okay. Joy Campbell said, still head over heels to have Night of Paradise Island featured among some great books. Thank you. Thanks.
So you're
That's
welcome
so awesome.
anytime.
And
And
Shonda
authors
Sparks,
also,
go ahead.
oh, sorry, not to cut you off. Um, authors also make sure you're posting those excerpts of the first chapter or either the prologue, because then that makes it easier for us to promote your stuff, and then also put your Amazon link in there as well. And then
Mhm.
that way we can promote your work to different platforms. And then when a reviewer also, I know some authors do it, some authors don't do it. When we're promoting your things, it's a two-way street. So if you see your review, make sure you're sharing it as well. Or if you see your book is being promoted, make sure you're sharing it as well, because the street works both ways. If you're not paying a person, that share helps that reviewer, because a lot of reviewers basically have an associate account with Amazon that basically helps us to continue what we're doing.
Indeed, indeed. We thank you. Thank you
No,
so
thank you.
very much for
Thank
being
you.
with us tonight. I mean, and people are like, does he sing? You know, they love your voice, and your voice. Your voice is very, very rich. I tried to do Shakir the other night and do the low voice. He said, no, no, no.
Yeah, that did not
So
go
I
well.
thought that in your voice is wonderful. Did you hear, were you on when Earl Sewell? Uh,
No, no.
oh, yeah, he does narration now. So he has a whole studio and all of these things and needs more people with narrate that. Your voice would be perfect for a book narration. So I'm like,
Thank you.
I would love to thank you so much. Thank you for your passion, for your drive, for your support of Black books. I loved it. I was so honored when I saw the King of Arabia pop up, even though I was like, where the hell he got that cover from? It didn't even have my name on the cover. He just wanted to promote it. I'm like, well, you go. I'm happy for that. At least got the title right, but I was so happy to see that, because even though the person on the cover, he's a person of color, he's East Indian, but I
Yeah.
was like, I was shocked, and I was like, we made Black Page Turner Show. I typed it and I put it in the private group for Namacare. I'm like, we made it, look at that. Yes, yes. So yeah, I was so grateful, and I appreciate your support of the Knights of the Castle series. Do you also post your reviews on NetGalley?
I post them based on Amazon. That's what I do. Or either barnesandnoble.com. Those are the two platforms that I normally. I'm horrible at Goodreads, and I'm horrible at NetGalley. Um, I think on set I think I probably have only 7 on NetGalley, if that, out of all of the years. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. And then there's the other platform as well, the EDW Edelweiss. That's another one that I use as well. That goes directly to the publishers.
Ah, okay. Because NetGalley is how some people are getting past having that barrier between trying to get the book, the reviews from there to Amazon. I know you can put it on directly, but there's so many reviewers getting all of their whole things snatched. Whereas NetGalley
Oh,
does a what do you call it? A vetting process that
uh-huh.
evidently Amazon respects.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that was real interesting. I do reviews on NetGalley, but because I put my stuff on NetGalley as well, I don't review my own stuff, but that's a different story.
And then also, authors, just let your supporters know, don't follow you on Amazon's platform, because that's another way. That's how that they track you as well. And they think that basically you're a fan, a promoter, or so forth of that nature. So I stopped following authors on Amazon's platform, because they have that follow button,
Lord,
that you click, and it lets you know about the different books that are being released and so forth. So yeah.
So you can either sacrifice having your books promoted by Amazon, because when people follow you on Amazon, they automatically put the information about any new book releases or anything in the email. So we have to
Hmm.
sacrifice that for not having to be able to have our stuff reviewed. Amazon,
I know they're up there.
yeah, they're doing as usual. It's
but
always
that's where the
something.
Mhm.
most money is being made, and
Mhm.
they as they say, they pay the cost to be the boss. So you
Yeah.
play the game or don't play it at all. I don't know if we have a Black outlet for ebooks where we have that the platform for that. We just don't. So and doing it,
There have been,
hmm?
I'm sorry to cut you off. There have been many of platforms that have been started, but we don't support, and we must support um, all of the Black platforms, because there are many new Black. I'm working on a list of putting out all of the Black bookstores that are opening up, because within the last year there are, I have to say, about 25 or more new Black bookstores that are independent stores that have opened up and so forth of that nature. And a lot of them are, with COVID and so forth of that nature, are on the verge of closing. I know here in LA, Marcus Books we have two Black bookstores here in LA. Marcus Books, that's in the Baldwin Hills Mall, and then the other one that's in the Lamert Park as well. Then there's Philadelphia, there is Mark Lamont Hill that opened in Philadelphia. There was Brooklyn, about two or three in Brooklyn, Massachusetts, Boston. Yeah, there are plenty of them.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So thank you so much. Are you gonna hang around for a bit?
I'll stay.
Okay, so we're gonna put you in the backyard, so you'll be able to
Okay.
talk to the panelists as well. Drop your links, drop your Instagram, drop everywhere that you are in the chat, and we're gonna just take you off screen. But thanks
All
again.
right.
Thank you again
No,
for your
thank you.
support of the
I
Knights
only
of
did
the
it for you.
Castle. Yes, I appreciate it. But once again,
I don't do
the
this at
Knights of
all.
the Castle. Thank you for the King of the Arabia. I was so thank you once again. We can't thank you enough. Okay.
Always send me the cover,
Yes, sir.
and I'll post it.
Indeed. Thanks again. Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye now. That was so awesome. And